Hello, and welcome to Truman Brown's latest video blog, VAT's Entertainment. At Truman Brown, we may be a small accounting firm, but that doesn't stop us from keeping our clients up to date with areas of accounting which we feel could benefit them. One question that we are asked a lot by our clients is whether they can claim VAT on employee costs such as entertaining and subsistence. There is no simple answer to this question, and trying to explain it without context can be quite complicated. I find that the easiest way of answering this question is by giving our clients an example. That's what I'll do for you here. Malcolm owns a marketing company, ABC Limited, based in London. He has travelled to Manchester with his personal assistant Sue for a meeting with his client Ray. The meeting takes place in a restaurant in Manchester, which Malcolm pays for. What claim for input VAT can ABC Limited make for this meeting? In this transaction, there are three different categories of persons involved, which we will need to consider in order. First, Malcolm, the business owner. As long as the meal is classed as subsistence, there should be no problem for ABC Limited claiming input VAT on the meal. Usually, Malcolm would claim subsistence if he is conducting business away from the main trading premises of his company, ABC Limited. As a guide, the business meeting should take place at least 5 miles away from ABC Limited's trading base in London. There is also no problem if Malcolm claimed input VAT where entertainment is available to his staff generally, such as a staff Christmas party. However, there would be a problem if Malcolm entered local restaurant meals into his records and claimed input VAT. Second, Sue, the staff member. Here, for the meal cost being incurred by Sue to be classed as subsistence, it needs to be away from her normal office and on a business-related job. Where the expense is classed as subsistence, again input VAT can be claimed by ABC Limited. But what would happen if Malcolm was not at the meeting and it was taking place in the vicinity of ABC Limited's London office? In these circumstances, Sue would be considered to be acting as a host to Ray. The meal would no longer be a business meeting, but instead be classed as business entertainment. Therefore, ABC Limited could not claim the input VAT on Sue's share of the cost. Third, Ray the client. The general rule is that companies cannot claim an input VAT deduction for customer meals. Hospitality of any kind is classed as business entertainment, and, as seen with the situation of Sue as the host, means ABC Limited is unable to claim input VAT. There is one exception to this general rule, which is if the client is an overseas customer and the expenses relate to a business meeting. To be classed as an overseas customer, the client must not be ordinarily resident in the UK and not carrying on in business in the UK or the Isle of Man, and must be a customer or potential customer of the business. Even if the client is classed as an overseas customer, the amount of input VAT being claimed could be restricted because the meals must have a strict business purpose. A clear example of this is a working lunch, where food is provided to enable a meeting to proceed without interruption. Therefore, input VAT could not be claimed on corporate hospitality, such as visits to the theatre or sporting events. Even if the input VAT could be claimed, the claim would be cancelled out if an output VAT has to be charged on private use. A private use charge will occur where anything other than sandwiches and soft drinks are provided during a business meeting. So a meal in a restaurant or a couple of pints in a bar will lead to a private use charge. One final area to look at is subsistence for subcontractors. For example, we can look at a construction business which uses a combination of employees and subcontractors to carry out various projects. So in this example, can the construction business claim input VAT if it agrees to pay the meal costs of subcontractors for projects away from the local area? The answer to the question is yes, but only if the construction business treats the subcontractors the same as the employees on the same project. When it comes to staff entertainment, there generally seems to be no problem for employers claiming input VAT on events paid for employees. However, the rules can get tricky when non-employees also attend. To consider this situation, let's look at an example. XYZ Limited hires a 10-seater box at Twickenham for the England vs New Zealand Rugby International. In attendance will be 4 members of staff from XYZ Limited and 6 clients or suppliers of XYZ Limited. Straight away, we can state that 60% of the input VAT relating to the 6 clients or suppliers cannot be claimed because of the business entertainment rules. But what about the input VAT on the costs relating to the staff of XYZ Limited? XYZ Limited would need to ask the question of what roles the employees would be expected to carry out at Twickenham. If the staff members are to make sure that the guests have an enjoyable time in order to obtain future business orders, then they are effectively acting as hosts to the non-staff members, and any claim for input VAT would be blocked, as we saw earlier with the example of Sue. If the staff members can enjoy the game as some form of reward or incentive and without any entertaining function to the non-staff members, then the input VAT can be claimed. I have a good planning tip for non-staff entertaining. Simply, if a small charge is made to non-staff members attending an event, then the input VAT can be made on the costs of their hospitality because they are no longer receiving a free lunch. However, there is then the need to ensure that output VAT accounts for payments made by attendees who are not members of staff. But overall, this would be an efficient way of arranging such an event. The key points to take from this blog are to understand where you can and cannot claim input VAT, and importantly, understand that small changes in how you arrange your business meetings and entertainments can make them far more tax efficient. If you require any further assistance in understanding this or any other facet of your accounting needs, then please do contact us here.